Well, hi there and welcome back to Japan, where I'm going to be checking out an artist who I've never heard before, and this came from one I've started checking out all of the songs in our Reddit suggestion thread. If you want me to check out songs, you can suggest them anywhere on any of our social medias and on our YouTube comments, but if you do them on the Reddit, I'm more likely to find them because we have so many videos. It's really hard to go through all the videos, locating all the comments in every video. So this is one from there, and I totally don't know how to pronounce the name of this. I tried reading it. I had a practice run at reading it just before I pressed record, and I realized how much I sounded like a foreigner who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Let's give it a go. A이라ヴ mii, and demo kanji that I should know, but I can't remember right now. Kiteiru? Yeah, that's why I said I wasn't going to do it. Anyway, I have no idea who this artist is, but it got suggested to me, and I can't wait to find out what it's like. So, cue everything up. We don't edit anything on this channel, so you have to sit here and watch me playing with a computer off screen. And let's go. Oh, Jesus, that's a dramatic start. Nice. Okay, that's cool. Nice, light and poppy, but it's really moving on with good energy. It's a real headbanger already. Oh, I feel like we're getting built up to a big chorus here. I hope the payoff's there. That's cool. I like that they didn't cop out and just go for heavy. It seems to have all the sound qualities of a really pop song, a well-produced pop song, but the ethos and writing of a good rock band as well. Some brilliant sounds happening there. I really wish I knew why she was in that hospital bed. It's a really nice chorus melody as well. It's increasingly catchy. The more I hear it, it's really sort of catching on my ear. Nice little acoustic sound there. All right. Logos? Are we finishing on logos? I think we're finishing on logos. Bogus Records. Which reminds me that there's a new Bill and Ted film coming out. Anyway, so we got a lot to unpack as ever on this one. Now, I really like that. I thought that was brilliant. I understand that's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but there is a few things that I think really need to be deservedly pointed out. Now, as I said during the song, and I think this held up through to the end, the song had all of the sonic ethos of a pop song. But noticeably, what I would assume is the case, based on what we could see in the video, is that it seems that rather than them just sort of like having a basic song, as often happens, pop group, oh, here's our chord pattern, and then the producer adds all the interesting sounds. It sounds like this is a band who really does engineer every last detail of their own sound, because you could just see, like, the bass player had a little keyboard in front of him, the guitarist had the guitar laid out so that he could be playing all various sounds as well, more like a producer himself. Everything about that came across with the ethos of a band who really engineers their sound from the floor up. So I hope that's true, and I assume that's the case. Now, therefore, they were carrying off that pop sound really well, but in a sort of genuine artistic way. So that, combined with the fact that the whole ethos of how the song was written, it had that sort of pumping energy that you'd expect from like a rock song. It was kind of rocky in a lot of ways, but without ever going to like a rhythm guitar and having like blasts of distortion and things like that. And this is something which I was kind of saying in the song as well, that I think considering how they started this song and the whole sort of build-up, it would have been a cop-out if they just went, okay, now the song goes loud, and just suddenly had like roaring, metal guitars and stuff like that, or just, sort of tried to go for more of a straight rock chorus. It would have felt kind of disappointing. Now, I know for some people they would maybe say, okay, well, the chorus doesn't feel like enough payoff because it doesn't have enough, it doesn't sort of hype things up enough after all that build-up, but I must admit, I kind of actually think it worked because there were so many little interesting sounds. You had those little sort of slightly bleeping synth sounds in there. You had the energy was still high with the bass and the drums. The bass had that sort of nice distortion effect on it, which kind of made it sound a bit more full, filled up a lot more of the space there and the sort of where the chords would be in the bottom of the song. And then what I liked about the guitar is the guitar was doing that sort of thing. When I do vocal instrumentals, always a perfect impression. And the guitar was doing that sort of thing. And what that instantly reminded me of, actually, was kind of a strange thing. Now, it was in what happened in the latter years with Linkin Park. Now, if you're one of the people who had listened to what they were doing later on in their career, which in my opinion was a million times better than where they started, which was good and, of the time, but nowhere near as intelligent and cleverly designed. One of the things that was interesting is that they turned from a metal band, obviously, into something a little bit more experimental, and they were doing songs that weren't always heavy. And therefore, to make room for all the other sounds they wanted to put in, they couldn't have these loud guitars. Because when you have like sort of a loud rhythm or a riffing guitar, basically any form of hard rock or metal guitar, it fills up a lot of space sonically, and your EQ is so full, there's not much room to put in other sounds, especially when you've got to then put the vocalist on top as well and everything like that. So what they started doing was the guitarist, rather than driving the rhythm in a lot of the songs, started doing things like this, which were more sort of high-end sounds, sounds across the top and more held sounds that were, if you like, more sort of background atmosphere. They sort of were like the glue between all the other sounds. It was something which was, like that. I don't know a better way of describing it. So I need to think of another word after this and then come back and do it again. But yeah, there was that feeling that the guitar was there more to add sort of a bigger, sustained sound rather than just filling up the whole EQ and making everything sound big and chugging and loud. And that really worked when Linkin Park were doing that, when the guitar moved up more into the higher registers, and not just for the sake of soloing, but for doing these sort of bigger, more sustained sounds. And this really reminded me of that, because it had that same feeling that it worked, that it had that wonderful spacious sound that you get when you do that with guitar, and there was so much more room left in the middle for all of the little synth things to come through, for the beat to still bite as much, because the beat still had loads of room as well to play in the EQ. Just everything sounded much more full and spacious because there were more sounds involved. Very hard to explain this one, so apologies if I'm sounding like I always find it difficult to know how to balance this. I don't want to get too technical and start sounding like I'm being a snob, and I don't want to oversimplify things to the point where I don't make a point at all. So hopefully my point is coming across somehow, but as always, get in the comments. I read all the comments, and if someone really doesn't understand what the hell I'm talking about, I will try and explain this to you better then when I have some more time to think about it and I'm not just reacting on the spot. Now, also I really liked about this was the vocalist. She had a great voice, not one of those which I'd say it stands out as being, you know, totally unique. It's not one of those voices where you go, oh, I recognize that immediately 10 years later, but it's a voice that just kind of suited everything nicely. She sung with a sort of feeling, it was quite a fairly light voice but with a lot of passion. There was a real sort of sense of sort of drama to her voice, which kind of mimicked with her performance. She was really good at doing that sort of slightly crazed image on the video, and the video as well, considering it clearly was made on quite a low budget, was really nicely done. They did a good job of taking what was essentially, I think, just one set and making it really last properly, and, you know, fill out the runtime nicely. Sort of good cutting, good lighting, good little clever ideas to make it interesting. I'm just very interested in this band now. I think that was a really, really interesting song. I loved the sounds that went in there. As I always say, I'm someone who, you know, I like so many genres, but that includes pop. I really do like pop. And I know that pop often gets a really hard time because it's seen as being a very fake genre. But pop, in essence, should be the most interesting genre because, okay, there's pressure for it to be popular, but basically it's the genre with the least rules. It's the, you know, it's very hard for someone to say, hey, that's not how you do pop, whereas, you know, you can have in other genres, hey, that's not metal, hey, that's not punk, hey, that's not rap. You know, I mean, in every other genre people can sort of say that sort of thing to you. They even do it with jazz, hey, that's not proper jazz. Pop, you can kind of do anything. So it's nice when you hear groups like this who are clearly invested in those pop sounds, but are doing it with a genuine artistry and a love for creating something. So I'm really looking forward to hearing more by them. I do certainly hope that, I mean, this was so well executed that I do certainly hope they do have more different things they do. I hope that their songs change sound a lot from piece to piece, because it seems like they are really interested in engineering their sound. Like I say, from what I could see visually from the video, they seem like a band who are very creative and they like to throw in lots of sounds. So I hope their songs are all very different and all experiment with what they can do and have equally effective results to this. Anyway, very interesting one. As always, I always say this, I love that on this channel all of our followers come from such different backgrounds. You all come and discuss all these songs together, and I love that we have so many differences of opinion, but everyone discusses it really respectfully on the channel. So I'm really interested in seeing what you guys think. Get in the comments and tell us. Obviously, if you want to get involved in our never-ending stream of consciousness that is our Discord, there is a link in the description below where you can just chat forever with us about music. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing your comments. Like I say, I read them all. I don't have time to reply to them all, but I certainly do read them all, and I take on board any comments. And if there's anything which really sort of stands out as, oh, I need to jump in and talk about this, then I certainly will do. But I appreciate you guys commenting anyway, and great when you can discuss amongst each other and we can all sort of give more views and things. And like I said, if you want to suggest more songs by this band or any other band, you can do it in the comments, but preferably do it on our Reddit so I definitely get to see it. Anyway, for now from Japan, thank you so much for tuning in on this one. Really great video. Can't wait to see more. And you can join me on any video you want right when this one finishes. So please do. See you soon. And for now, ciao, ciao. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out more of our hundreds of videos we got online on this channel right now, or get involved in the discussion with us at the many social media links we've got in the description below, where you can suggest new videos and artists for us to check out on the channel. Or you can just do the usual YouTube stuff and, you know, comment, like, subscribe. You know how this works by now.